Welcome back, guys. Yeah, got a new project, which I think looks pretty brilliant from the front. If you get it from this angle, there's just some minimal damage here. It's a 2019 Honda Grom. You got a little bit of scuffing here like this, kind of dirty, a little bit of scuff mark there. Got to replace a turn signal. You know, not really that bad. I actually bought this at auction and I thought, yeah, we can make this one work pretty easily. Do I need to mention that maybe I bought it from a salvage auction? Yeah, you'll notice there's a skateboard here holding it in place because this poor individual who owned it before me seems to have been stopped at a stoplight or a stop sign or something like that, and somebody plowed into the back of him. So literally the rim has broken off from the hub. So there's the remainder of the hub for the wheel like this, right? Here's the rear caliper and then a brake pad, two brake pads dangling out there in the breeze. And then you can see the rear tail light assembly like this, just trash and everything like this. I'll take it around to this side of the bike. I know my garage is a complete mess. There's a long story there. And it looks like it skid a little bit here too. I put this ratchet strap in place here to keep the wheel when we went to move it. Here's everything here. You can really see it took a serious impact here on the rear sets. Just went blank for a second. It has it looks like an Amazon's aftermarket exhaust, and it's wrapped and everything like that. But there's a whole lot of plastic needs replacing, and all sorts of work needs to be done here. It does run supposedly, so I'll have to see how that works, and you can see it was laid down up there too. So yeah, it's a project. My son and I picked it up today from Dallas. Bought it through a Copart auction, so there's the auction sticker here. When it fell too, I guess these weren't tight enough either, so those handlebars are kind of askew like this. So it freaked me out at first because I'm like, oh, I think the forks are bent. But actually it's the bars. The bars are twisted a little bit because I guess they weren't tightened down enough. But I mean, this side looks much better than the other one, right? So minimal damage over here. The rear set looks like it's pretty good shape and everything like this. The engine, thank God the engine casing doesn't seem to be scratched on either side. Yeah, so, you know, it needs some work. It needs some work. The frame doesn't appear to be bent at all. So I know these, if you know anything about Groms, the frame's kind of got this weird sort of, almost a Y shape. I don't know how to describe it, but it runs like this, and it's just a tubular frame like this. And it doesn't seem to be bent. I think the swing arm is. I mean, it's probably a safe bet that it is, right? But then also the swing arm axle right there, I imagine is bent because of how it might have twisted when it got hit. So I'm gonna check that. I'm already planning on buying a rear swing arm because I want to be certain that I've got a straight one when I go to sell it or ride it. But yeah, it's gonna be a do. It's gonna be a project. But I've always wanted a Grom, and this is a 19, so it's only a few years old. Yeah, I mean, we could do worse. It's gonna need some work, but we could do worse. Got it for a pretty decent price, so I'm pleased with that. Still working on the Triumph, so there it is there after no less than 3 separate applications of paint stripper. So tomorrow's gonna be number 4, and after that I'm done. I'm priming. I'm not gonna mess with it anymore. Here's the engine down here, like so. Just been cleaning it a little bit and everything like that, but getting to the point of reassembly. So yeah, so this Grom, this is the new one. This is what we're gonna do. My son and I are gonna start working on it tomorrow, just stripping it down. I've already ordered some of the OE replacement parts here, especially for that back end. I think the idea with the project is we're gonna be working from the back to the front. So more than anything, I wanna be able to set this down on both wheels with the kickstand down. So obviously just taking everything off here. I don't even know how much I'm gonna disassemble this rear end at all. I might just take the whole rear swing arm off and see what parts I can salvage back here. Obviously the rear axle tensioners are messed up, and you can see even just from the angle, you can tell that this rear axle is just completely twisted. But the nice thing is, because it's a small bike, because it's a Grom, parts are actually really inexpensive. That rear axle I think is like $8 OE. So yeah, can't beat it. So yeah, there's some money to invest, but I think it's gonna be a good project, and I'm pretty stoked. So yeah, keep following for the build.